Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. I'm Hiral Taria. Joining us on the show today is Gaurav Bissa to discuss in terms of what direction markets expected to take. Anyways, today we are trading in the negative, but we've maintained 1850 levels already. Gaurav, good afternoon and welcome to the show. Gaurav, my first question coming to you is overall, if you see in terms of where markets go, clearly the anticipation was that it will be a negative trade, taking the negative global cues into consideration. Plus, we have the US Fed meeting outcome. Overall, what are the levels you're tracking in today's session?
So for as far as the Nifty index is concerned, the spot lows are concerned, I'm expecting there can be a small retracement sort of, and it can head towards the level of 17,800, 850. See, the psychological level of 18,000 will continue to be the support area. But for me, what is more important is we had a very nice breakout on daily charts at levels of 17,800, 850 range. So that might get retested, and I think that is where you can find interesting buying opportunities. The risk reward in the favor will be in the favor. So for me, that is the level that I'm watching out for. And 18,200, which I was expecting as the immediate hurdle, I think that is acting as a small deterrent on a very immediate basis. And for me, I will be a buyer only at levels of 17,850. And there can be some more time correction as well. But I don't see a major fall sort of coming in.
Right. And overall, if you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, again, where are you seeing resistance now, the kind of up move that we saw last week?
See, Bank Nifty is one that is clearly outperforming. If you see today's session as well, it's hardly down, right? It's almost flat. And this being a very high beta name. And it's staying above the previous breakout levels of 43,000. So I would not be looking at the ratios as such because it's just about trading above the support area. It's not moved towards the resistance area. So till the time 43,000 is not broken on spot basis, I would not be too bearish. But yes, once the immediate position is taken out, you always look for the next one, and that comes around levels of 44,200, which was the previous lifetime high. So that will be the resistance for me till 43,000 is sustained. One should not be too bearish on Bank Nifty for now.
Right. Moving on from here on, are you seeing that little bit of pressure or consolidation to continue during this week?
Yes, there can be some time correction, and I'm expecting some profit booking as well. So the indices, the sectors that were the stalwarts for the month of April, they may see some cooling off. So, for example, Bank Nifty, once it sustains above 40,000, you can expect some profit booking over there as well. That will also keep Nifty subdued. Nifty IT for now has been bouncing from support, but it's more of a consolidation that is going around. I'm not finding too much of corrections for now, but I'm not seeing a very rapid rise in NIFTY. So these sectors can see some amount of pulling back to the Nifty or maybe clipping its wings. But I think that will be good scenario to buy where Nifty Bank is trading below 40,000, coming towards 4 to 500. I think that can be a good buying opportunity for Bank Nifty and Nifty as well around 17,850.
Right. Now, coming to stock specific action, a lot of PSU stocks are seeing good demand today. BHEL, good long build up, HAL, Bharat Electronics. What should the strategy be?
So as a disclaimer, we came out with the report on the Nifty PSC index where BHEL was one of our buy recommendation around 75. And we expect if somebody has a view of 18 months or 24 months or maybe more than that, or other people who have a long-term horizon, I'm very upbeat on the PSC space, and BHEL itself can see a very strong upside from here. We have advised as a long-term investment based on technicals. So I'm expecting very strong upside in BHEL, and it can be double from here as well. So for me, I'm very bullish on BHEL and some of the other PSC names.
Right. So that's with regards to where the PSU names go. Apart from that, another stock which is Interglobe Aviation. Yes, up move coming in because it's going to be one of the beneficiaries from Go First's bankruptcy. But that stock is seeing long build up as well. But do you think it's a temporary phase or are the charts indicating strength?
No, actually, the strength is clearly evident, not just in terms of portion, but the price action as well. However, I would wait for a bit. I would not buy right away. It's reversed from immediate resistance area. So I would not be a buyer right away, but either you buy on declines because the structure remains positive, it's an uptrend, or you wait for a breakout area sort of to happen. So the breakout will be any close about 2,200. I think that is going to be a good breakout area. You can keep a structure 2150, play for 2,300 or maybe above. But at the current juncture, I would not be a buyer as such.
Right. So that's with regards to where Indigo goes. Apart from that, if you look at a Bank of Baroda and a Bharat Forge, there are bearish trades that are being taken on both these counters. What should the strategy be?
I would skip these names. We are seeing minor profit booking. Overall, the structure remains positive as far as Bharat Forge is concerned. It's stuck in the range. For me, it's a buy once it gives a close above 820, 830. I think it will trigger good amount of short covering as well, and fresh buying can also emerge. So for me, it's on the buying list, but not at the current juncture. It's going to see a range bound mode. I don't see a much of a trade happening over there.
Right. Apart from that, how are you seeing an Apollo tire? Volumes are pretty strong. Stock is up again. The open interest addition is also pretty strong. So there are some fresh long positions being built on Apollo tires. And with that, if you have to look at an MRF, CET, both these counters, so the entire pack is pretty much up and about.
As a disclaimer, we had recommended Apollo Tires as our monthly pick. But we have seen the targets getting achieved. We are playing for 345, 350. It's surpassed those levels, so we are no longer in the name. It can see some more upside, but the risk reward at this point in time does not look that favorable. The breakouts were at much lower levels. Any declines towards 340, I think that can be used as buying opportunity, but not the current juncture. If somebody has already bought, you can keep riding it, but fresh buying, I would not be advising.
Right. Similarly, on an Indian hotels as well, Gaurav, last couple of trading sessions, I have been seeing a lot of momentum there. Do you think this is the time now to book profits, or do you see further upside?
For somebody who has already bought, I think partial booking is what I would be suggesting. It gave a breakout. It's about the breakout area. So 348, 350 zone is the breakout area. It is about that. But if you look at the daily charts, the candle that has been formed today, it's not a very encouraging candle as such. We are seeing profit booking at high levels. So on that perspective, I would not say exit the entire quantity if somebody has already bought at lower levels. You can book partial quantity and trail your stop losses and ride the trend. If it's sustaining levels of 360, 362, I think there can be some more upside that can be seen in Indian hotels.
Right. So that's with Indian hotels. Apart from that, a Manapuram Finance as well. Clearly, the stock is down over 12%. Open interest addition is pretty strong. Fresh shorts that are being built on this counter as well, with huge volume built up. What would you advise?
This is a question we got from some of our clients as well. The trend was quite strong, and all of a sudden we are seeing a very strong and very sharp correction sort of coming in. So at this point, I would not be saying that you can exit a position because somebody was bought at 120, 130, 125, 130. I don't think he or she will be in the in the mood to sell the at 10 or 15% loss. So on that perspective, I say you wait. There's a support at levels of 108 to 110. If it's breaching that, probably then we can take a review. But for now, I think those supports can be maintained. As long as those are not broken, I will not suggest exiting. And fresh shorts is also, I'm not going to recommend fresh shorting at this point in time.
Right. What do you make of an Ambuja Cement? Again, the stock is under pressure. Pretty decent open interest addition. Volumes are pretty strong on the counter.
See, as a thumb rule, we are staying away from this particular set of stocks, Adani stocks and Ambuja and ACC for a time being. There's nothing wrong with the trend as such, but the kind of volatility that we are seeing today itself, you can see Ambuja was trading comfortably around 400. All of a sudden, it went towards 375, and same happened with the other Adani stocks. So, managing such high volatility is very difficult, and for that very reason, we are staying away from the basket.
Hmm. And if you have to look at TVS Motors and a Lalpat Lab, there are the longs that are being unwound in today's day of trade. What should the strategy be with both these names?
See, for Lalpath, I don't see a trend as such. Probably sustaining about 2000, 2020 only, then it will emerge as a buying candidate. Otherwise, it's more of a technical bounce that we have seen so far. So for me, it's an avoid. I don't see neither a long or a short trade at this point in time. As far as TVS Motor is concerned, it has a good hurdle at level 80. So for me, it will be on the buying list. There will be very nice consolidation breakout, probably 6 to 9 months consolidation breakout that will happen once it gives a close above 1180, and then you can expect levels of 13 and probably more than that in a matter of months. So for me, it's a very strong stock. I would be a buyer in this name, but not at the current juncture once it gives a close above 1180.
Right. Apart from that, if you see stocks like Whirlpool or for that matter, Americo, HUL, all these counters are seeing, clearly shorts that are being covered. What should the strategy be? Do you think this is the time to then look at them?
See, selectively, one or two stocks can be looking as buying criteria. But for example, Whirlpool, though it has seen some action today, overall it's been trading in the range. If you look at last 1 month or probably 2 months data, it's been stuck in the range where 1380 is the hurdle area and 1290 is the support area. So for me, stocks that are stuck in the range, this is not time to buy those stocks. Rather, you buy stocks which are correcting. If it declares 200, 300 points, you buy strong stocks which are correcting, or you play for a breakout. I would not be preempting any stock that can.
Right. Gaurav, apart from these names, anything that comes to your radar that someone should look at from tomorrow's trading day perspective?
See, Concor is one that is on my radar. I'm not keeping too many stocks on radar as such, but Concor, if it gives an hourly close above 626, I think this is one that one can buy, keeping the stop loss at 615, playing for target of 645. So Concor is one that would be on my radar.
Right. So Container Corp, one stock that we should be watching out for as well. Thank you, Gaurav, so much for joining us on the show and giving us the details. But overall, 1883, not a major move in today's view of trade is what we've seen. We opened at around 18113. And from there on, it's a very small range that we've traded at. And it's a phase of consolidation that we've been witnessing. Breadth has remained pretty much in favor of the bears today. However, HUL, Asian Paints, Tata Motors, Ultratech Cement, as well as ITC, these are the gainers today, whereas pressure coming in on an Adani Enterprise, ONGC, Adani Ports, UPL, as well as a Bharti Airtel. If you see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, we've ended below the 43,300 mark in trade today. But clearly, the advanced decline ratio has been pretty much balanced out in terms of Bank Nifty. And Sensex, we are below the 61,200 levels in trade today. A lot of stock specific action is what we've seen. The entire was buzzing in trade. Engineers in IFCI, RVNL, so all the PSUs were up and about in trade for a second consecutive session. And on the losing end, your Jindal saw Mirza International, Manapuram as well. That's of almost little over 12% coming in there. So a lot of stock specific action is what we've been witnessing in trade today. There is the market side of it, which is pretty much somber consolidation is what we are seeing. And probably this is something which will continue for some time from here on. That's all that we have in this session. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.